It's time for Leather Podcast.
Ross, on holiday, wearing a vest, looking red as ever.
Mate, I'm like a young lobster, eh?
You having a good time, mate?
I do. Aye, it's alright.
Have you gone?
Decent. The resort's decent. It's got like a water park and stuff for the kids, and the food's pretty horrific, to be honest. You can't go off the resort. It's like pure downtown Mogadishu if you go off it. Like, it's fucking...
Is it?
Like
Is it quality prayer? Did they do that in that part?
They just were doing it, they knew. They were just doing it, they knew. It's loud as fuck, hey, it goes off all the time. But there's like packs of dogs and everything, eh? Just walking about like 10 dogs.
When I was in Turkey getting my hair fixed, fixed. You're laughing at. It was the same, just packs of dogs, quality prayer. Aye, it's just not what we're used to, is it?
That haircut's put up this course. That's good.
No, it's awful. But the resort's good. I can't knock the resort at all. It's decent.
Ross, what you got planned at 3:30? What's going on here?
I didn't want to give that an extra 10 minutes, so I'm going to... You're going to love this one.
Excursion?
Going to the temple... going to the temple of Apollo, mate.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like 2,500 years old. It's quite a bit... Alexander the Great came through here, found the temple all smashed up and ordered it be rebuilt and stuff like that. So going to see that tonight. Once it's too hot during the day to be going out and about at these type of things. So it's 30 degrees. It fucking kills me. So that's what I'm doing tonight.
Bit of history in the Leather Podcast.
Going with the kids and your partner, yep.
Going with the kids, aye. Family's all here. So going out tonight, try and get a bit of dinner somewhere. Like I say, the resort food is just catered to like Eastern Europeans and Turkish people, really. That's it. There's a few... I seen a boy walking about in a Partick Thistle top the other day. I don't think I've ever seen that in Scotland. I've never seen that at home, never mind
it's
in
your
Turkey.
man, Rudo.
That's where they make the Partick Thistle tops in Turkey. Cheap ones are...
But it's decent. It's nice to get away. But I'm ready to come home now. Like,
are you due back next week, aren't you?
No, I'm due back. I'll be back on Saturday morning. So I'm home on Saturday morning.
And then are you going to the MMA show at the weekend?
Yep. Dale's show.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Sorry.
How is it you pronounce it? Castius.
Celestis.
I have no idea, mate.
You got that. You're cornering Chris, eh?
Dale's here now.
He's picking up the cage.
He's getting the cage.
They had an issue with transport of his cage getting here in time, so he's using the Havoc cage. So it's... I
was matched up to fight. I was matched up to fight Dale once on Forza.
It's all systems go down here at G4 Studio.
I know, it was a busy old day.
What have you been doing?
Well, we've got ESPN following us about for the next 3 days, doing like a wee kind of like into the my life kind of thing.
Rags to riches.
Were you golfing?
Aye. So then last night they came yesterday. We did some wrestling in the morning at higher level. Then did some conditioning with Adam in the afternoon, and then into kickboxing home. And then they were at the door at 8 o'clock this morning doing watching me get ready for prepping my meal, running, sauna. Then I met up with Chris and we played some golf, fake golf.
I beat him.
Yeah, it's the first hole. Big man steps up with a boomstick.
How many balls you lost?
I lost my first ball. I absolutely creamed it, right? Creamed it to where I normally would hit my ball. Perfect shot. And
home field advantage and all, Airdrie, you know what I mean?
Could not find it.
I was going to say.
Chris's first shot.
Is that a course you're familiar with,
Aye, Chris's first shot absolutely toughs it. Bump.
Every time, man.
But then after that, it was all right. We only managed to get a couple of holes, and then we went and done the cold dip up at the Clackaghar Campsite. And then now we're back.
That's nice there.
Aye, it was cold today. I was before I went in, I was like to the guys, I was like, I'll jump in, do a wee swim about, go underneath the waterfall, and then as I get closer to the waterfall, it was like, because of the rain the last couple of weeks or the last couple of days, it was like if I went under it, I'd end up with brain damage, man. It was just coming down so heavy, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to go in there. And like, see when I jumped in and done like a wee swim, the current was actually like pushing me away for the waterfall. So it's just it was good. And then we came there, get changed in the car.
Weather's been mental there, for a few days now.
I know. We had flood warnings at the start of the week, or the end of last week. I think Stirling got hit pretty bad. So it's just all the water running off the hills, and then it's obviously coming into that pool. So it was raging on.
Aye, the beer Jew was it.
The beer Jew.
The beer Jew was it.
His wee walnut whip was it. Like, whoop, disappeared, man. And then they're like, can you shadow box? And I'm like, aye, but can I get a bit of blood in my sausage, mate? Because it looks like it's not existing. It's no there.
Doesn't even have a three skin.
Shadow box, aye.
Have a three skin.
Aye. So we've done that. I obviously rocking my Anaconda fightwear shorts. See the tighty whitey ones. They were perfect for it. So just me shadowing in the moors of Scotland.
Oh,
so that was a day.
Nothing. That was just holding the shorts, mate. I dried these shorts for him.
It's alright though, go on.
Put a bit of blood in this for me, son. Get a wee shake.
I didn't take a dip though, man. I don't know.
You didn't?
Nah. They were filming Paul. So
you're normally all about that.
I know. I wasn't really feeling it.
They were kind of phasing them out like, right, son, back of the line, please.
I went exploring for the other waterfall. But I think we're going to start doing Marriott though, maybe once a week or something.
We should do it on a Wednesday, just the three of us. Just head up there
before the podcast or something.
Get ourselves nice loosey goosey.
It's good there. Like I've taken the kids up before. Decent.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one you go down and you go underneath the back of the waterfall that's down one step. We were going to go there, but it was like one of the ones where I was like absolutely freezing. The guys were like, "We don't need the footage," and I'm like, "Right, we're not going there."
That's good enough.
Aye, like if you don't need the footage, then there's not much point in going. But we should.
Is it the one you had on your story, Chris, that you went in?
No, that was the one that he was talking about. That was the one you can go on under it, but no, he went the one above it. There's three. I think you can go down even further to another one that.
Where's the Devil's Pool pit? The one that's bright red.
That's the other side of Stirling, I think.
Is it? See, I've never been to that one. That's like a wee canyon. You go into it.
It's not really like a good dip place. It's just like a wee small, but it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to
that Clacking Camps is a good one because it's quite deep as well. Like when you swim over to the edge, it's pretty deep. And I went in the summertime there, and it was still about 7 or 8 feet deep, so deep enough to get right in a bit.
I think you can jump off.
I jumped off one of the rocks into it, and I was like, "Do you want me to jump in?" Like, just if it's safe.
Like a seal.
And I was like, if I miss that first big rock, see, as long as I clear that first rock, I'll be golden.
It's like out of the fight because
you can walk right around the edges there as well.
Aye. So got some good footage, hopefully. They filmed quite a lot in slow motion, which will be kind of cool, like James Bond coming out of the water.
L'Oreal.
Just flicking my hair and looking into the camera, smouldering. No, it was good. And then we'll do some drive about my local area. They want to see where I grew up. But it's not the same as driving about America, this is where I played ball. Where it's like, no, this is where the junkies take heroin, and this is where we used to smash bucky bottles, and this is where wee Johnny gets stabbed and lost his life. So it's going to be interesting to drive about my local area.
What is it?
Craigneuk, aye. So it's
this is a shop I went to every day.
Aye, this is a shop I used to get my play piece for. Did you call it play piece?
Fitbit stickers.
Oh,
did you get Fitbit stickers?
Oh, aye. Yeah. Oh, aye.
Panini.
Aye, they
25 pence a packet, mind that.
Aye. You don't get them for that now, do you?
Get a pound.
Back in my day.
25p, get a pound off my mum for football stickers. I mean, me and my brother were arguing over our sticker books once, so my dad just fucking ripped up our 2 sticker books right in front of us both. It's fucking shredded up my bed. You're haunted me as an adult.
You used to always get the rich cunt in school that would have like hunters with a big elastic band around them all. And he would have like the one you wanted, but he would have like 20 of them. But he still didn't want to part way with one.
Because he knew you needed it.
You were giving him something that he needed, you know what I mean? I'll give you all these. You'd get all your doubles out like, I'll give you 100 just for this one and all that.
Need. Go.
Rich bastards, man.
What did you call a shiny one? Just a shiny?
A shiny.
Yeah.
Did you just have a weird name for that?
I don't know. I've heard people call them like a foil one and stuff like
foil?
That. What the fuck was that? It was just
That's an Edinburgh.
Foil,
you got foil for burning your drugs.
Fucking loyalty to the foil, you just can't say there.
Talking about being loyal to the foil up there, you were doing a wee bit of acting, weren't you? I've seen it on your Instagram.
Bonnerig. You've been there before?
No.
Been to Bonnerig before, Ross?
Aye, mate.
Shithole.
A wee bit,
I used to play football out there when I was a kid. It was horrible, hated it.
So that was probably my favourite scene I've ever shot as an actor. Quotations. I don't want to give too much away, but it was like the end of me. But it was a fight scene where I had to end up.
Was it a one-on-one fight? Is it like a gypsy fight?
It was more. There was like 2 gangs fighting off, but I went into like a cabin to get a gun, and my nephew already had the gun, and we end up fighting. But we end up out.
Am I right in saying this is the nephew that was trying to pump your...
No, he did. He goes. He's got away into my ex, basically. But we end up in a fight in between 2 cabins, and it brawls out into the yard where the Polish and the travellers are all fighting, and it's a big war zone. So I'm trying to poke his eyes out. I end up kneeing him in the head, and it folds him, and I get like full mount, kind of like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs in New York with Leo. Full mount, he's trying to claw me off. I end up landing like 4 headbutts on him, spitting blood everywhere. I'm reaching for knives. It's just a cool scene, but there was like 100 people behind the cameras, and they were all uneasy at how scary the headbutts were, and how much I was
psycho you were.
Screaming and spitting and dragging people about. And that was beautiful. It was like, good. That's the way I was like trying to portray it. But everybody loved it, and then I got a baseball bat right to the back of the napper. So it was nice. It was a cool scene.
Phil would have been a good partner for that as well, because obviously he knows a bit about boxes bit and stuff, so he would have known the right level for it to be at. He would have known where to push it and where to...
he was great.
When I was looking... You put up a still photo on your story with the thumbs in the eye one. I thought that was a fucking great
and
picture.
that was just a wee rehearsal, that one, because we had our other clays on at the time. So, but the actual real one, I dug my thumbs right in his eyes. I remember when I got full mount on him, he was giving me all the pressure to like try to stop it, where I actually had to physically pin one of his arms with my knees, and I was looking at his eyes, and he was crying, like acting, but we had fake blood on my head for the headbutts in my mouth, and he had it all on him as well, and it was like, it was proper. It felt real. It was weird, man. But as soon as it stopped, everybody just applauded. Everybody just applauded it. So it was.
See,
it'll be cool to see how they shot it, before I can actually say, that was actually quite good.
Like, see method actors like Daniel Day-Lewis who go in character like the whole time they're in filming, and that must be hard, man. It must like mentally mess your head up big time.
Big time. Shia LaBeouf does it as well, doesn't he? I think that ruined him a bit. But it was a cool scene. But I was dealing with like 5 Polish guys who had like sledgehammers, but they all train at Hanneman, so they're all quite skilled in Muay Thai and stuff like that. Sledgehammers, one had like a pickaxe, and they all look evil bastards, like scary guys. The other side of this fence, they had like the bolt cutters try to come into my yard basically, and they had 2 martial arts guys with sticks, that's American guys. So one was in my gang, and the other one was in the Polish gang. And I seen that. It was like the 2 of them done like a kind of choreographed. Aye. So that was like they were just doing that before the cameras came and that. So I sent my guy, like fucking Jimmy, Like so you send, and they send the other guy, American, baldy guy, but tattoos everywhere, and he was just stomping up, looked scary as fuck. And the two of them are going at it, pure. I think they date professional as well. And we were watching it back, and some of it looks pretty cool. And then everybody was just, they paired them up basically, so it wasn't just like a mess. So they paired them up, and they choreographed like certain fight movements, and then they would film them so they can all add it all in, so it's not just one big stramash. But it was quite stressful. I could see Gary there was so much shit going on.
I imagine it's a big scene. Obviously, it's coming to the end of a time, like at the point of like closing a chapter. So I imagine he's like, I need this to be
bang on. And it was starting to rain, and you only have daylight till like 5:30, and we only had the yard to a certain time. So you're on a clock as well, and it starts to rain, then the full thing's fucked as well. So
really get it done as well. It's hard just lining everybody's schedules up, eh?
It was cool. It was a cool filming Saturday and Sunday. It was a cool weekend, good experience, and just I don't know, just another passion kind of it. But we'll see how it looks, man, when they edit it and put it all together, because
that's when it becomes gold.
I'm happy with that scene. That scene was proper. Like that scene was violent, and people were like, I could hear people when I was doing it. It's like, oh fuck's sake, oh Jesus, and then to stop it and do it again because people spoke, because it was so. They did a scene where
broke character.
They did a scene where it was POV, so nobody else was there. So Ryan, the cameraman, kind of went with Phil was, and I had to go to the camera, so it was nobody else. It was just my POV of the headbutts and the screams. So it's like, everybody be quiet, just watch me just fucking heed or none and scream at the camera. And it was like they kept up with date, and I was like, veins were popping out my head now, and it's just like, right, that's enough, man. So I don't know, we'll see how they put it together. We'll see.
So as close as I've got to like doing anything like that was, remember I had to do like was it the Scots?
Aye.
It was like with Jack Jester.
You were a fighter?
Aye. I was like some...
What were you called?
It was like some Piper Viper or some shit like that. Viper Piper. I don't know what it name. It was like one of these like really shitty names, right? And I was to fight Jack Jester, but it was an MMA fight, and he was like...
But it was in a ring, wasn't it?
It was, aye. And it was a really cool wee setup, but they had one of these like choreographers, and he's like, right, I want you to do this and I want you to do that. And like, I remember just thinking, fuck up.
Aye.
Like,
don't tell me
how to fight. Like, I would never ever do that, so don't... Like, I know it's your job to choreograph a shite fight, but I said to the guys, I was like, I'm not going to be involved in like making myself look like an absolute bitch. So I said, I'll fling big shots, I'll do this, and this. At the time, it feels fucking weird, doesn't it? Because nothing's landing, and it's like, and they're like, no, it's fine. Once in post production, we'll cut it all, make it all really seamless. And then when you watch it, and it's like maybe it was probably about 2 hours worth of filming, but and it's done like 10 seconds a shot, and you're like, waste of loads of footage.
I watched it. It looked alright though.
It's good, isn't it?
You had a robot.
I did. I had like one of the guys for the gym. I don't know if you remember.
Were you oiled up?
No, I wasn't, but I did shave my chest. I wasn't
going to... a bit shiny.
Just was in there.
The funny thing is,
that's why it's good though if it's a fighter for you, Chris. Like if it hadn't been somebody like Phil, it probably would have needed to be another fighter. Because there wouldn't have been the right flow. Do you know what I mean? It'll flow better when it's a person.
That's what Gary said. If he had like, because there was 100 there, but they're all non-actors, fighters, guys for the street. If he had 100 actors trying to deal with that, would have been like impossible probably, because they're like, oh, that's no for us, or when they move that way, where guys for the street move like guys that are in gangs, fighters know how to throw without hurting people, kind of. So it was definitely easier to like mould non-actors into that scene. But the funny thing with you, Paul, was you were in a scene with Jack Jester, who's a professional wrestler, who also seen you break a wrestler's jaw in the wrestling ring by accident. So he's obviously thinking, don't hurt me.
He said
clearly,
that
like, when I've seen what you've done to somebody by accident.
When I went back to the asylum to do some training for the ICW, he was like, see during that filming, Paul, I was shitting myself. And I was like, how? And he was like, because I seen what you done to that referee. And I says, aye, but that wasn't my fault. Like, I still hold that. Like, I'm still.
Hopefully, we can maybe clip it. Could we clip it?
Aye.
We could clip the punch.
Aye.
It's a bit brutal, but it's funny. We'll probably get numbers.
It's
Context.
aye. It's one of these things that, like, even the noise. Even thinking about it right now, like.
So obviously in pro wrestling, we've all done a pro wrestling punch. Maybe the rock one to your daughter, your sister, or something. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a fake punch. You pull the punch, but
What they said to
this
me was,
guy walked right in, he pulls right.
I've spoken with this and I've said, they said
Broke
to
all
me,
his teeth.
they said, hit him here, hit him in the collarbone. And I said, can I not slam him or something? Can I not do like a choke slam or like an actual move? And they're like, we don't really have the time. We need you to nail it. And then it's going to get a better pop because you've just won your fight.
But that's on them then, innit?
I know. And then everybody's like, just break his jaw. He's a prick anyway. He's this, he's that. And then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this poor guy. So then as I slap his hand, it's like there was no pull of the punch and it was a flush.
It was the cleanest shot you've ever
I
punched.
know.
I
I was talking to Kieran Reid the other day about it, and that's what I said. His brother runs ICW, and I'd said, I've flung 2 good punches in my life, and both of them have not been in fights that actually count for shit. So that's the best
Could you
punch.
just give him a big open-handed slap, no?
I think the damage would have still have been pretty shit.
Basically, the guy ended up spitting out his teeth. His jaw was broke. But it turned out that he wasn't a good guy anyway down the line, so it's kind of a karma.
Karma for the guy.
I knew you broke his jaw. I didn't know you'd actually put his teeth out.
Aye. Have I not told this? So he ends up with like a plate in his jaw. And what happens is the plate doesn't take right. And it ends up the screws are like wobbly or something like this. They don't take right to the bone. And what they couldn't do was they couldn't re-drill back into the jaw because then it would just naturally weaken it again. And they ended up having to like wire his jaw shut for like a long period of time because fuck you laughing, man, that's like funny. And they ended up with like this massive big bit of chunk of metal in his jaw. But as Chris said, in our defence, the guy was like being like
beastie, Hank.
Aye, he was being inappropriate to women. Mm-hmm. So as Chris
a lot
said,
of accusations came out about him after,
Aye. We don't need to name the guy anyway.
Aye, but so then we ended up. You're going to clip the footage in anyway, so you're going to see him.
Aye. Let's do that though. Let's clip it.
So then I have to walk over to Chris Toll, and I knew at that point, like I felt his jaw just crumble underneath my knuckles.
What's the other time you've connected good to it?
Resulted in a broken jaw as well on a football pitch.
You punched somebody at football?
Aye, and he was in my team.
Did you?
Why?
I was, I think he wasn't tracking back.
Oh my god!
I was about.
You sure you just want to do this documentary?
I think it was about. I must have been about 16, 17, and he wasn't tracking back, and I was like super competitive. I was in defence. He must have been midfield or striker, and aye. He wasn't tracking back. I was like, fuck. And this was on maybe like half an hour. And him no tracking back resulted in us losing a goal. And I was like, so he squared up to me and I was like, fuck you, Dane. And then I just went, and I remember like my big brother had like said to me, if you ever punch them, they just make sure you follow through. So as a wee guy, like I've not threw many punches. At this age, like by the time I'm 16, 17, I wasn't really anything. So I flung this punch and it was like slow motion. And as I zap him, I follow through. And his jaw just goes kink and he hits the deck. And
need more time for the old Roscoe.
So I had threw this punch, had nailed my pal, but because it was in like a public place, because it was at Broadwood had called the police. And resulted in me getting charged.
Really?
Really?
Why are we just finding out about this?
And
in a football.
Aye, but
boys will be boys. That's one of the ones.
So, but what? Because it went to the police, because Broadwood thought this was a proper fight, like this was proper serious. So we need to get the police involved, and the police are like, right, we've assaulted somebody, so it's a charge. And I had to go to court and explain to them like, no, this was just like. The heat of the moment, like this is out of character for me, and they basically went like, this is a waste of time, and eventually they just threw it out. They were like, this is like idiotic. Why have the police even charged you? So I get a free punch for that, and then I get a free punch for ICW. Aye, so two good punches counted for shit.
That's mad going to court and actually getting to explain yourself, Chris? Because fucking for us, it'll just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't even there.
No, because I was like, listen, I did.
Is that
You went down the honesty route.
Is that how you felt with like the charity game when nobody was tracking back?
Oh, mate.
Ready to hit Stevie Purden and all.
Yeah, it was just lucky with Ricky Burns. I was like, you'll fucking slip back.
To be fair, he was running about.
He was, but he wasn't actually following the ball.
He's fit, but he's no good at football.
Aye. He's just opened up a new gym.
Who's the Scottish boxer moved over to Spain? His son comes to liquid rooms, I think. He used to get in a bit of bother actually when his boxing career finished. Is it Harrison?
Aye.
Is that his name?
Scott Harrison?
No. Aye.
Does he stay?
Sure
Does he stay there now? I didn't know that.
I don't know if he lives over there. I didn't ask you. The guy doesn't talk too much.
He got to jail in Spain. That was years ago though. Remember he got lifted. That was in Spain.
Did he lose his licence?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened, didn't it?
He did do time in Spain.
Did he work with Lawrence?
I don't know.
No, it's somebody else. I think you're somebody else.
I saw you doing a bit with Lawrence last night, Chris. I like Lawrence. Good guy.
Aye, I was speaking to Paul about it today. 2-hour session last night. Just, you know what it's like when you've no seen him in ages, just back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
Good warm up. I hot the pads for an hour. Jordan held, and then the second hour vice versa, and I was sweating buckets, man. But
it's just muscle memory. Yeah. It's about drilling a combination, drilling footwork. That's why it works.
We're just working go at the body, even that jab to the body. Mm-hmm. So it was good. It was really good. Loved it. The training's going good, man. And a good space.
You're 6 weeks.
Aye,
6 weeks to Cage Warriors. I'm 5 weeks. We leave in 2 weeks to go to Vegas.
The first.
I know it's coming in really, really quickly. So I've got visa to go down this weekend. I'm down on Sunday for to be there for Monday morning, nice and early to get my visa. Once that's sorted, then everything else is just going to go. And then it's basically out to Vegas in the sun for a couple of weeks, isn't it, boys? And you've got clearance, Ross. Did you tell her? Did you put her straight? Did you say, listen?
This is my job, mate. got to be there. Got to be there. So, it's good. I tell you what, though, it's nice getting some sun on your fucking teeth for a change. See, instead of, you didn't realise how some days when you just open the door and it's just pissing with rain and it's wet and it's cold and you're just like, fucking, again.
Scotland.
It's nice just to get somewhere sunny, eh? Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be good in Vegas because it'll
Aye. So the weekend there, I was down at the BMF.
Sheffield.
I was down in Sheffield.
Yeah,
so I was at
did you go there?
I did. I was there. Well, I was right next to it. It's like Bradford, is it? Is that what it was? The BMF's Bradford?
Somewhere like that.
Bradford and Sheffield. Anyway, I was there, watched young Stephen Clancy Simmons put on some fight. It was a really, really close fight. I think he the first round, although it was close, I think his opponent just edged it that little bit more. And then the last 2 rounds, Stephen just took the lead, landed some really, really nice technical striking. It was it was only 3 minutes, so it's the 3-3s, and because it's amateur, and it was like 2 boys just absolutely going hell for leather on each other, and it was good to watch. And then Yusuf was fighting on that card as well, and he just went out and flatlined the boy and just put a beating on him.
I like Yusuf.
He's the way he fights, he's so aggressive, and that's the way to deal with a really technical striker. If you're standing in front of somebody who's technically really good, and that's what the guy done to Stephen. The guy knew Stephen was a far better striker than him, and the only way to beat that is to meet it head on, like the same way Sean Strickland beat Adesanya. That was skill wise. If you think about who's the more effective striker, you would say Adesanya. But if you're unable to allow you to get your moves off, then it doesn't matter how technically proficient you are. He was just put on the back foot and couldn't really do anything. So, and that's pretty much how that fight went on Saturday with Stephen. But he just managed to edge it with good control, takedowns, landing better shots. And then in the Sunday, I think
I saw on the third, sorry to jump in there, I saw on the third round as well, did he no finish, like he was close to submitting the boy as well, did he no finish on the back and he was trying to get the rear naked in. So that's maybe swung it for the judges as well if they were.
So I messed up.
Good for them.
So I went with my daughter. She's interested in sports science, so she's wanting to do that for going to further education. So she came down the last time with me. She said I'd offered her if she wanted to come down this time. She's like, yep. Slept the whole way down, slept the whole way back up. So it was like no company at all. But I messed up the hotel room. I've messed up every hotel room I've been there. The first time I ended up having to share a double bed with... No, the first time, in fact, I booked the wrong room.
We had them.
Aye. The second time I ended up having to share a bed with Adam, and then this time I booked the wrong date. So I booked a week later, and I go to the reception, hand over my information, and the lassie's like, nah, we don't have any information of you staying here. And she's like, scrolls down and it's the week after. I'm like, any room? She's like, nah. So I started getting like, I've just drove like 4 hours to get there. I'm getting a bit pissy. I'm trying to find a hotel room. So I go into like booking.com and everyone I'm clicking on is going out like, nah. So I find this one called the Friendship Inn, and it was just a pub with like a B&B above it. So I was like, that's fine. I think it was like £100. I was like, right, I'll do. I get to the hotel, I drive down to it, get to the B&B, and they're like, no, we're double booked. Sorry, we don't have a room for you. And I was like, oh no. So I go back on Airbnb and I find the next closest one, because you know it says like what's within your vicinity. And I'm just like, so I'm on the phone to my partner and we're having this conversation, and like she's no helping one bit. She's like, you always do this? And it's like, aye,
that's no help.
This isn't helping. This isn't helping. This is just fucking enraging me even more. So I find this hotel room, which is really close. It's called the Indulgent Basement. Right? You wouldn't think anything like, so the pictures are just normal pictures of a hotel room. The first couple, I then try to book a room, and then it gets to the payment, and the payment gets declined. Try to book it again, it gets declined again. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I phone them up and I say, listen, I'm coming in, I'm here, I'm wanting to book a room, I can't book it. She's listen, we've got one room left. I'll send you over the payment details. So she sends me over the payment details, and for some reason I went on and looked at the pictures. It was a fucking sex dungeon.
Oh my God.
Right? It had waterproof fucking mattresses, it had like all the stuff to tie fucking up, and then it says in the actual thing, discreet entrance. Like, could you imagine me rocking up wearing my fucking daughter who's 16? Like,
some kind of mad swingers.
When did you find out then? How did you know?
So before I actually put in, I just happened to be looking at this. I went back on to try and have a look as I was waiting the name sending me the details, and I just went on, and it was like, and as you flick through more pictures.
So where is this, Sheffield?
It was
outside Sheffield.
It's whatever one's right next to. I think it's Barnsley, and it turns out it was like a fucking sex dungeon, man. And like, could you imagine? Like, I had no idea because I was just so flustered, and I was like, I need to book a room. So I ended up not booking that room, because how fucking weird would that be? And then ended up booking a room that was maybe like 15 minutes away from where I should have been. And then my daughter had to sleep on the floor.
No, she didn't.
She did.
You all right, Ross?
Yeah, Roscoe. So I ended up booking another another hotel. Always good. She slept on the floor. I slept in the bed. Got up the next morning. Went to do the testing, and it's exactly what you would think. Like, I'm going from being a light heavyweight down to a middleweight. What would you expect? What would you expect to be seen in data, Ross?
Loss of power, loss of strength, but up, getting fitter, probably sprinting faster, probably moving quicker.
It's exactly what it is.
You spoke to him about that?
No, I haven't. So we've reduced a little bit of strength is reduced, not massive amounts. We're still hitting all the same numbers, but the actual power output's slightly different because we're smaller. Mm-hmm. Speed's increased. Lactate profile's like a different guy. I'm able to push harder, longer, all this kind of stuff. So it's all very positive. Doing the Aerodyne bike as well, very, very positive. One of the things that we wanted to know was, can we do 5 rounds? Because this is the first time that I've ever done 5 rounds. I've ever needed to do 5 rounds, because I think all the other fights I've been involved in, Maybe different for Bama. Was Bama 5 rounds?
I don't think so. I think it was still 3, but no, that you
3
need the
5s,
memory.
aye. So this
Didn't
is going,
need them anyway,
so
though,
this is
that's
going to
the
be
thing,
5
yeah.
rounds, and what we needed to know is, does Paul have the engine capacity to go 25 minutes of hard graft? And we found out we're able to do it. When we jumped on the Aerodyne bike, same again. It was 30 seconds power output to see how we manage it, to see how long we can go, see how long we can maintain these speeds at, and same again, they were all through the roof. Very positive moving into my fight against Brendan Allen, because that's pretty much everything we're doing right now is to be, are we ready for Brendan Allen? And we know what kind of fighter we're getting with him.
Had that been on your mind though up until the testing, the 5-5 thing?
Well, yeah, it's always in your mind, isn't it? Like, even if you're doing 3-5s, like you're always thinking, have I got the engine to go 3-5s? We know we can dig it out. We know we can just like grind it out and just be tough. That's like, I've shown it countless times, like against Shogun Hua, against Ozdemir. There's times where I've had to go the 3 rounds. I don't want to do it. Nobody wants to do the 3 rounds. Everybody would. If I say to you, Ross, listen, you can go in and do 3 rounds and be nice and comfortable, or you can do 1 hard round and get that out of the way and win. What would you pick?
1 round, 10 times out of 10.
Of course. So I just needed to quantify it, because that's pretty much what, for me, that's what I need. I need the numbers. I've said this before on the podcast. I've said I need numbers to match what I need to be achieving. So if I want to be strong, right, I need the numbers to prove that I'm strong. If I want to be a 5-round fighter, then I need the numbers to show me that I can be a 5-round fighter. One of the crazy things that I've got is I set the record in the PI for my neck strength. Did I tell you about this? So then, see, when we did a similar test. So when I went over to test as a middleweight at the PI in Vegas, they check your neck strength. Excuse me, because it's one of it's a good measure of concussion rate kind of thing. If you're able to stop the recoil of the brain rattling around in the head. So we done the test down there, and same again, the neck, like the lateral neck strength is incredible. And I think it's just for years of wrestling, years of like pushing off in jiu-jitsu, and it definitely helps you, and it definitely gives you confidence in the point where it's like, can I take a punch? Because that's the other question you're always worried about, innit? Like, can I take a punch? Because there has been times where I've taken some heavy shots and twice resulting in loss of consciousness in matches, so you're always worried about this kind of stuff. Worried about the 5 rounds, worried about can you take a punch, can you do this, are you able to perform, bum, all these kind of things lead up to you as a fighter.
What sort of tests do they do to see if you can do 5 rounds? So
it would just be like your lactate profile. Can your body, so when your muscles contract, there's like a byproduct, and it's like lactic acid, and then you've heard people saying like it hurts after like training. So if you've done really high intensity training and your body can't flush out the lactate, you end up with like DOMS, you end up with like really sore muscle because the acid stays within the system and it just settles to where it is. So what they were testing was, it's like a pinprick with blood. They'll prick you with, they'll check your blood, they'll measure how much lactate's in the blood profile, and then from that they'll then be able to say like, right, using athletic normative data tables, they'll be able to say you're at the lower end, middle end, or top end, and is your body able to produce lactate? So are you able to work at high pace, produce the lactate, but is your body able to flush it out and clear it? And it's about the clearing that you're wanting, because if your body can produce a lot of power, but you can't clear the lactate, we've all been there, you know, when your arms get really heavy and you can barely pick them up because they're so sore. Is your body able to get rid of this? And that's how you know you can do the 5 rounds. So I think it was a 30 odd minute run by the time we'd done all this, because it's like 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, They up the speed, up the speed, up the speed, up the speed, up to a point where you can't run no more. It's like at your absolute VO2 max, where your lungs, engine, muscles, everything's going, everything's wanting to shut down, everything's wanting to stop, and then that's the point where they'll be like, right, you're done. Let's measure this again, and they measure it every single minute, or after each 3-second stint, and then they'll be able to tell you your lactate profile. And what you're looking for is this to...
You have the mask and stuff on, like you did in the PI?
No, that's something different. That's that's to actually measure your VO2. So that's like your oxygen gas exchange of what you're breathing in, what you're breathing out. So we didn't do that. And it's not that they don't think it's a worthwhile test. It's just the fact that this is a more accurate test, because it's more about, can your muscles get the blood and clean it? That's why they did that test, and it's through the roof. And then they're like, right, you've got, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes, and then you're back on the Iridium bike to do the last alactic test. Can your body produce power at a period of time? And it was and it was all good. What I'm expecting for the fight, because it's coming in pretty quick. We're always chasing the next fight. I'm expecting Alan to be throwing kicks. I know he's got half decent kicks. He likes looping shots, and you need to be worried about the takedowns, because he has got very good jiu-jitsu, and he's obviously wanting to prove that he can out jiu-jitsu the guy who's like a jiu-jitsu fighter in MMA. So he's potentially looking to take me down, set up strikes, take me down, and wear me out that way. But we see what happens when people take me down. Like, when you think about, is Brendan Allen a better grappler than Krylov? Because these are the questions I ask myself. I compare everything. Is Brendan Allen a better grappler than Krylov? Well, I don't think so. Is Brendan Allen a technically better striker than Magomedov Ankalaev? I'm going to say no. Is he as strong and powerful as guys like Alonzo Menafield, Jimmy Crute, Khalil Roundtree? And I'm like, nah. So that's like, I compare the guys that I've fought to the guy who I'm fighting there and then. So can he do that better than him? Can he do that better than him? Can he do that better than him? And then I'll build a wee profile and I'll be like, nah. And if I can hang with guys like Ankalaev, Jamal Hill, I was going to say Johnny Walker there. I was going to say Johnny Walker there. But if I can hang with these guys, can I hang with Brendan Allen, who's a weight class below them? And the answer has to be yes.
Aye, for sure. Like, I never think that's a good... I never understood the guys who tried that one. Like, I'm going to take Paul down and beat him at jiu-jitsu. That seems a weird game plan. I never thought that was a good one. Do you know who probably had the best, but it was the most annoying game plan? Was Ozdemir.
Yep.
Like, he fought the most sensible and annoying fight he could have fought. Like, he just went, well, I'm not getting into this, and I'll be all right. And he just saw it through rather than won a fight, really. But, like, I've never like when Krylov's game plan and stuff like that, I'll just rip him down to the ground and I'll just out-grapple him anyway. That seems like an awfully egotistical way to look at it rather than a methodical way, like Ozdemir.
I think that's what it comes down to, though. It's the fighter's ego.
I know.
Because I remember Jamal Hill's like, I've got good grappling. Like, you just don't even know how good my grappling is. I'll try and mix it up, and then next thing you know, they're getting their elbow.
I've said this to you before. Like, when I took Jamal down off the overhook, and I'm in that position, he passed my bottom hook, past it, and he made this. I'll never forget the face he makes. It's like I just nailed it, and then the whole sequence just bump kicks in, and then it changes the dynamics of a fight. And if you think, like, regardless of that arm breaking or me getting the triangle, that changed the dynamics of this fight, because the next time you stand up and you have to start flinging these fast shots again, or flinging the kicks, or defending takedowns, it's a totally different game, because the lactate is building up, and then it changes the dynamics of the fight. And I'm looking forward to this fight. It's a fight that excites me. It's excited me for a while. I remember when we got the call about, like, listen, this is a fight we're offering you. They didn't give me any other options. Said this is a fight to headline here. They actually wanted me to headline this weekend. It's who's fighting this weekend? Is it Yusuf Sadiq? And I'm not sure who the headliner is. Have you got it there? So it was meant to be this weekend when the fight was meant to take place, but I'd say to them, listen, can we push it over a wee bit. I've got some travelling with the.
It's Sadiq Yusuf and Edson Barbosa.
Look at me, man, with it. Man, my UFC knowledge is impressive. It was meant to be this week, and I'd said to them, listen, can we push it back a little bit further, because I had the travelling with Singapore, I had the travelling into Boston, I had too much going on. Are we able to push it back? And they said, yep, let's make it this November card, and it works out.
Had to get the weight down properly as well. You can't be fucking about with that weight stuff. Like, it needs to be, for you personally, you like doing it with that scientific numbered way. If you start fucking about with that and just going like, well, I could just get off, I don't think it would be the same. I think the reason it went so well in the last fight was because you took a proper scientific approach. You had somebody there making sure it was done properly. So,
aye, but that is it. It's the weight. We can train for a fight, and then you can do a horrible weight cut and get to the weight cut, and it messes up your whole fight camp, because it zaps your energy, because you've no rehydrated properly, you've maybe cut too much, you're not going to be able to get out that hole. So you might as well not have done that fight camp. So the way I like to do it is, can I get to the weight safely, and can I rehydrate to my full potential 100%? That's what I'm looking for. And we're on track. We're right on the same money. I think I'm 0.1 of a kilogram over where I was this time in the previous camp, and it's working with these guys like Elite Boxing Science who are like, they need, their job is to make me make weight. Their job is also to make me perform at the weight that I need to perform at, and it's like, just takes all that stress off me, because I know if I follow his plan, then it's going to be good. And you're finding that now, aren't you? This is like you've worked with a nutritionist twice, haven't you?
Aye, I worked with Dean Kirk for my Bellator fights, which was some of my smoothest camps I've had, but now I'm with Peter Miller for condition nutrition, and same as yourself, just whatever he says I'm eating at the right times, and the weight's falling off me as well. I've got a lot of energy for my sessions, and I've only been doing it 2.5 weeks, but I'm doing 3 kilo already, so it's like we're going in the right direction. But as you say, like, it's not until I'm on the scales on weight, then you can say job done, really.
I know. And then it's like, it's his fault. For him, he needs to be making sure that you make weight.
But you need to be honest.
Aye.
With yourself and with him.
Exactly. Because there's how many times you're like, fuck it, I'll just have...
Because he'd be like,
10 audio balls.
You shouldn't be this weight if you were this weight 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. Like, if you had anything else, I had a couple of grenade bars. I felt I needed them.
Aye, it was. We had a busy old morning this morning, so we jumped to.
Guys, I'm going to have to be really rude, and fucking, I'm going to have to go.
He's doing the Irish goodbye smoke bombing, is it? Where are you going?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remember, he's going to see the Temple of Apollo.
Apollo's temple. I'm sorry. So I'm going to have to let you finish this one without me.
No worries, mate. No worries. You, obviously, the podcast means nothing to you. The fact that you've got fans. See before you go. See before you go.
Shit, mate.
See before you go. We were so last week we obviously shaved a mustache into you, handlebar. How the fuck is that grown back so quickly?
I don't know. It doesn't even. I've no touched the moustache at all. It's no even really changed. Like, that's all grown back in.
That's incredible.
And the moustache is like nay. I know.
What's the difference between $1 and £1? I'll dollar your mama.
Right. I'll see you shortly. I'm sorry again. Have a good one.
Enjoy your holiday, mate. I'll see you next week.
Enjoy, bro.
Bye-bye.
So we've lost Ross, so he's not getting any chances.
We've lost Oliver as well.
I know. So obviously this fight's the new main event for in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Why is Oliver out?
He has a big cut across his eyelid, his eyebrow. Like, it's bad boy.
Wait, did they get it from sparring? What is it? Is it just a last spar going too heavy?
There was a picture. We could maybe even tag the picture, but somebody's opened his full eyebrow up. It's about this length, about that thick. It's a beauty, man.
Aye. So then in steps,
but
Alexander the Great.
But they had Gamrot as the stand-in, so he's gone a bit mental then as well, because they've just basically fired Vulcan, which I'm not complaining about
That-
it. Imagine you're the standing guy.
I know.
And then they're just like,
But you understand this guy's still getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to have seen this fight? Well, obviously Volk's going to have been training and
aye.
potentially maybe thought something like this could have happened.
Plus, he's no cutting to featherweight. It's a lightweight, so it's not a big cut for him. But
Would you like to have seen it with a full camp at trying to get to the right weight? What do you think?
he had a full camp the last thing. So sometimes that can surprise you. Bisbing done it and he won the belt.
Aye.
But
And then
obviously,
is
he'd be at his best if he had a full camp again.
Right. I'm excited for the fight anyway. We're a week away from it.
I think Volk probably keeps himself in the gym training, but fight camp's different for just
Aye.
normal routine.
Aye. So who you going? Who you going for?
I'm going for Islam again.
I don't know. I think Volk can do it this time.
He could definitely do it, but I'm thinking it'll go the full 5 again, and maybe Islam 3-2. 3-2. Maybe a split. Maybe a split decision.
What did you have it the last time?
I thought Islam won.
I thought a lot of people were saying Volk won, and I'm like, he didn't. Like,
No, Islam won.
if you can control somebody's back, and it doesn't matter what they're doing with their hands or making funny faces or they're maybe safe, if you're still in control of somebody's back, then it doesn't matter.
But I think Volk's still dangerous. Like, you see it right in the very end. Did you know, drop him a wee bit and swarm him? So he's always in the fight. He's always there. It's
a great fight, but as I'm saying, I'd like to see it with like a full camp and all the media.
I want
and everything.
Volk to win, but I don't think he's going to win.
Why are you going to go Ross on our asses here and be like, I just don't like the Russian fighters?
Pretty much. But Makachev doesn't bother me that much because he's very well rounded. He can strike and he finishes people as well. But I just like this guy. He's fun. He's quite funny. He's also challenging himself for a second time, going up
like,
a division.
He didn't need to do it. There was no reason for him to do it other than
like
being the guy.
Crazy win streak at one point. It was like 120 in a row, and he jumped up, no hesitation. Now he's filling in 10 days' notice, no hesitation. That's what I like out a champion and a fighter. They like to dare to be great again. You know what I mean? So I'm rooting for him, but I'm going to bet on it. And my money will probably be on Islam.
It's probably going to be easy odds in it. Mm-hmm. With the victory before
and plus,
the full camp.
The thing is, Islam went to Australia the last time and knew this is in Abu Dhabi, which would probably say
home.
I know Islam trains in AKA in San Jose, but it is home for those type of fighters who like are loved there. Mm-hmm. Absolutely loved.
Aye, they're treated like celebrities. So I'm going Volk, you're going Islam.
What would I think Ross would go Islam as well?
No, there's not a chance he's going Islam. Ross is the last guy to go Islam. He was like, so we'd done Makachev Oliveira as a watch party. I watched it with Ross. I mean, he was actually like distraught. He was like, like it was him that had just lost or his mate had just lost, but it wasn't. He was just like,
I think Oliveira got a wee bit of quit in him sometimes when it gets tough. Because I thought that arm triangle wasn't real.
Volk doesn't have quit in him, but
no,
he does not have quit in him, that guy. And then what's the next fight, young Jamie? You want to scroll that down, kid? I think it's Paulo Costa.
Islam's massive as well. So that's another thing. Islam is a massive lightweight and Volk is very small featherweight. So there is a height difference there.
So Costa versus Chimaev.
Great fight. But Dana White saying
it's
that
a bit ropey, isn't it? Did he have staff? Is that what that was? Did he have like a staff infection in his arm?
His elbow's pretty fucked.
Paulo Costa had staff in his arm and it resulted in him in hospital like a couple of weeks ago.
So Dana's saying that he'll make a decision within a few hours that could be scrapped, but they'll have somebody for Hamzat. Like, who's got to fill in to fight Hamzat in 10 days' notice?
Hamzat gets another nod again, man. Like,
you give me enough money and I'll do it, man.
Like, but that just seems to be Chimaev's thing, where it's like, right, we know it's a harder fight to fight Costa. We'll put in somebody a wee bit easy and just let him biff them and be a superstar.
Unless, I don't think they would let to scrap it because it's in Abu Dhabi and try and move that fight for like 2 cards down the line somewhere in America.
We've seen Chimaev just go back to back with fight camps as well, haven't he? Or fights like, what was it, two and it was like a week, wasn't it? Aye. That's when they done it was like they done the Wednesday and then done the weekend, am I right? Is that what it was? It was a couple of days.
John, then he had Reese.
Aye. And then, so it's potentially could push it back, but surely you have to ask Costa and be like, right, do you want to do? Because it's your fight. It shouldn't matter if if he was in hospital or not. It's up to him.
I'm looking forward to that fight.
Who are you going?
If I'm say,
Chimaev?
What do you call him? Brock? Is it? What do we call him? Brog. Do they call him Brog?
For Lord of the Rings.
This is his nickname's Brog, I'm sure.
Is it?
BROG.
Is that not like the orc for Lord of the Rings?
I'm sure that's his name. I'm going Chimaev. Hamza,
I'm going the Brazilian, mate. I'm going Costa.
To be fair, I watched the Costa fight against Joe Romero, who is obviously a highly decorated wrestler, and he struggled. So I'm like, maybe that's... He does tire though, where Chimaev could keep the pressure on, I think.
Chimaev's like, the only time I've ever seen him looking like a normal human being was against Gilbert Burns. And he beat Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Do you want to see that fight again? Burns and Chimaev? Or you want to see him go for the title?
I want to see him fight Costa, then maybe up a bit. Who else is there?
Well, you've got
middleweights.
It would be for the title. It would be either
Sean.
Edwards or what's his name?
No, Strickland. Sean's the champ.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
your division. Bro.
I'm the weight class down. Sorry, I was thinking. So
You didn't know cut.
It's going to be Strickland or is he?
Is he?
And the same again. He'll just grab both of these guys and just
Imagine him in DDP or him in Whitaker or something, like, just something different. This is a good one for you, Paul. Let's
look
get
at
to
the
this one.
smile on your face, like knowing.
Because two former foes, the record last second in a 3-round fight finish, London, one of the best nights ever.
Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. What is that, number 2 versus number 7? Johnny Walker hits like a train, man.
That should never be number 7.
What do you think he should be?
It should be higher.
Aye, I agree. I totally agree with you in that one.
It should be higher. That's a great fight, mate.
It is a very good fight. Ankalaev is one of the most well-rounded guys in that division. Good wrestling, good striking, effective at what he does in that southpaw stance. Does Johnny Walker come out and just try and blammo that leg and keep it at distance? Because I follow Johnny Walker on social media, and he's doing a lot of boxing, a lot of footwork, and I think that's how he would need to beat
He
Ankalaev.
needs to start quick. Definitely. Hard and heavy. Like, that's what he is. He's explosive for the get-go, so I don't think you can play the pick him apart game with Ankalaev.
But I think what I think he needs to do is he needs to keep him at Walker range rather than Ankalaev range, because I think if you're in, and I'm not saying Johnny Walker's chin's suspect, but if you're in Ankalaev range, and we've seen him, we put out Kutu Laba, so he has got power in his hands, and so you don't want to be fighting at Ankalaev range, you want to be fighting at Walker range, where he's keeping that distance, picking, when not picking and poking isn't like looking like a boxer, but hitting shots and moving and not letting Ankalaev getting in, because if you're standing still in front of Ankalaev, 1, there's a chance he's going to hit you, and 2, he's potentially going to take you down. And I'm not saying that Johnny Walker doesn't have jiu-jitsu. What I'm saying is Ankalaev's got very good jiu-jitsu. So the last thing you want to be in is a situation where Ankalaev's on top grinding you out. But then we've not seen a lot of Ankalaev's jiu-jitsu because he's not needed it. We've seen
but
him.
you've heard his rep sheet, I feel like Sambo and stuff like that, and I feel if it goes 3 rounds, I don't see Johnny Walker winning a 3-round decision against Ankalaev.
What are you putting on the coup?
Ankalaev victory. Decision. Aye. I think Johnny's path to victory is the first round.
Aye.
First round.
It's always that way. He has a title, he's like a title contender. He's powerful. He's got all the attributes to be a champion. Aye.
Huge.
Big. Massive for that weight. Like standing across from him, and I was like, Jesus, he's a big old boy. But I think I'm going to go Ankalaev as well. 3 rounds. I reckon I'm pretty much the same. If it goes first round, it's Walker. If it goes past the first round, then it's definitely Ankalaev.
That's probably one of the fights of the night. That one. Interesting.
And Ankalaev's never been beat. He's never been beat. Oh wait, he has. He has been beat. by me.
Do you still have the bit of canvas for Johnny Walker?
I do, aye.
We need to give that away to
I
somebody.
know.
You can't have that.
We were talking about that in the way over here. We're going to do
Some
a
giveaways.
giveaway. What is that? What have we got, Jamie, to give away?
We've still got posters up the stair. We've
Right,
still
so
got
we'll just
fight
grab
taps.
a poster. What you want? You want like somebody's picks? Whoever gets the.
Aye. What you got? 5, 6 in the main card. Whoever can
I would just say the top 3 fights.
Right.
If you pick the winner of the top 3 fights, we'll pick one of these and give you one of the posters.
Yeah,
away.
let's do that.
Happy with that?
Where are they picking in the comments on YouTube?
Picking in the comments and YouTube.
So you've got the title fight, the Ankalaev Walker fight, and the what was the one above that, James?
There's a jumper.
Here we go.
You want the jumper?
So you pick the winner out of the Hamzat fight, the Islam fight, and the Johnny Walker Ankalaev fight. You pick 3 winners.
You get a signed.
You'll get a signed jumper or a poster.
Sergio
Turn it in. I remember.
Algio.
Aye, Algio. There you go.
It's a
Walkout worn.
walkout worn signed. It is a medium, so you could probably wash the signature off it.
What's the country flag on it? Has it got one?
America.
America.
So I pick the winners, and then we'll rattle through them.
If the Costa one gets took off, we'll replace it with whoever Hamzat gets gave.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's going to be a good show,
aye.
and we're not actually going to get to watch it live because we're going to be at the local show supporting our teammates.
Yep. No. Against each other.
Aye. It is. Guys, have you been involved in an accident that is not your fault? Then why not get in touch with G4 Claims? Take all that stress off you. They'll do all the legwork for you, and they'll make sure you get 100% of your claim. We've not got Ross here today to give us a number. So, young Jamie, what's that number to get in contact with him?
The number is 01698 767 172.
Or you can visit them on the website. Do you know the website? notatfaultclaims.com. Yes, Ross, mate, you've lost your space in the podcast, mate. So the podcast is now down to Paul and Chris. So enjoy. But if you have been involved in an accident and it's not your fault, then get involved. Get in touch with G4 Claims, and they'll make sure you get 100% of your claim, and they'll deal with all the hassle you don't want to deal with.
Beautiful.
So we were up at the Campsie Fells today. Did you see what I was rocking?
Aye.
I was rocking my tighty whities. I had the Anaconda tight shorts on for it.
I actually wore them, a pair of them in my pro wrestling match as well at the Scottish Comic Con on Saturday night, and they went doing a treat.
Did they go to a treat? Did you wear a cup?
Oh, I always wear a cup, bro.
So the mistake I made was I did not wear a cup.
Aye, you seen that?
Or you didn't see it was the issue. So if you're interested in getting some new fight kit, why not check out Anaconda Fightwear, where they have some sleek rash guards that we both wear. Did you wear a rash guard for your fight as well?
For my fight?
For your wrestling fight?
No. Just
so they've got rash guards, they've got shorts, they've got the tight ones that we both wear regularly. But their main item that's the biggest seller for them has to be their knee brace. And if you're on social media, you will definitely have seen the ads where I'm talking about it. How it offers a lot of structure and support to your knee. Check out Anaconda Fightwear. Young Jamie, what's that website?
AnacondaFightwear.co.
That's it.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to get it.
Click there.
I did not think you were going to get it.
Luke's my guy.
Aye.
Shout out to Luke as well, who received his purple belt. Long time grafter on the mats as well. So it's good to see him achieving some small goals as well, especially
when he's obviously damaged his knee, he's having to take time off. Jiu-jitsu, man, it's a tough bag when you've got guys swinging off your knee. If only you had designed that knee brace a couple of years, maybe you'd be a brown belt. But congrats on the purple. And as I said, if you're looking for some new fight kit, check out Anaconda Fightwear.